Ano ang reaksyon nyo sa kanyang ibinunyag?
Well, these are serious allegations. Definitely, napaka-seryoso nito at hindi basta-basta dapat sabihin natin i-dismiss. Pero ang sa akin nga, sana dito siya humarap. Bumalik siya.
Senator Pangilinan, magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Ay, magandang umaga, Karen, at sa mga nanonood, nakikinig sa ANC. Good morning, gandang umaga.
Alright, simulan na po natin. You've seen part 1, 2, and 3, I'm assuming, of Zaldico's testimony from wherever he is right now in the world. Ano ang reaksyon nyo sa kanyang ibinunyag?
Well, these are serious allegations. Definitely, napaka-seryoso nito at hindi basta-basta dapat sabihin natin i-dismiss. Pero ang sa akin nga, sana dito siya humarap, bumalik siya. Tulad nung halimbawang pinakita ni Yusek Bernardo na humarap sa ating Department of Justice, humarap sa Senate hearing, humarap sa ICI. Sana ganun din ang gawin ni Ginoong Zaldi ko para tumuloy na yung proseso ng pag-iimbestiga. Siguro idadagdag ko rin na kaya yung ating Independent People's Commission na bill na sponsor na natin at after the budget debates next week, tapos na, we hope to tackle this and pass it before the end of the year para mabigyan ng dagdag na kapangyarihan yung nag-iimbestiga dito sa flood control at mapabilis ang pagsasampa ng mga kaso.
How different would the Independent People's Commission be from the ICI?
Well, right now, halimbawa, and this was in the hearings, kung ang inaakusahan na ang Pangulo, at ang magbibigay ng witness protection program yung Department of Justice na appointee ng Pangulo, syempre doon pa lang may concern na sa independence, syempre, no? And we experienced this in the past. In fact, I filed a bill before na bigyan ng witness protection program ang Kongreso, ang Senado. Dahil noon, ang mga nagpaparatang, halimbawa sa ZTE, NBN, etc., mga matataas na opisyal din ng Executive Department. So, paano na mabibigyan ng whistleblower protection kung ang inaakusahan ay yun na nga, matataas na opisyal ng Executive Department. So, in the IPC measure that we are proposing, may kapangyarihan mismo ang IPC, ang Independent People's Commission, na magbigay ng immunity sa mga magtetestigo base, of course, sa criteria na inilahad na sa Department of Justice Witness Protection Program Law.
Okay, I want you to react. I know you have already on Facebook, but Senator Bato de la Rosa, essentially his comment was, tahimik ang Tiklawans at komunista sa expose ni Zaldico. Strategize muna sila how to appear righteous and anti-corruption kuno. At the same time, prevent the downfall of this government from which they benefited a lot.
Well, like I said, kayo talaga sa media, gusto nyong magsabong kami ng mga senador. Pero nabanggit ko nga na hindi tayo nananahimik, tinitimbang natin ng maayos. Because kung tutuusin itong mga serious charges ni Mr. Ko, apart from, kasi gusto natin makuha yung mga sagot sa mga tanong natin, di ba? Na sino pa talaga ang nasa likod nito? Mananagot ba ang dapat managot? Nasaan pa ang ebidensya? Where does the evidence lead us? Pero kung hindi siya haharap, maraming tanong pa ang naidagdag dun sa kanyang testimonya. So, hindi tayo pwedeng basta-basta mag-conclude on the basis of itong 3 parts. So yun ang posisyon natin. We are not quiet. In fact, for the longest time, basta corruption ng issue, hindi tayo umaatras.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Senator, Kasi hindi po tulad ng mga humaharap sa Senado, they take an oath, right? They take an oath. Kapag nagsinungaling ka sa Senado, you could actually, pwede ka sampahan ng perjury, no?
That's
Tama,
right.
pwede.
Correct.
Pero ito kasi, I think, hindi ito signed affidavit, hindi ito notarized. Ano ang pwedeng gawin ni Zaldico to make his testimony of probative value to the Senate or the ICI?
Well, nabanggit na ni Senator Ping Lacson yan, is you go to the consulate or the embassy, you sign an affidavit, di ba, in front of the consular office who are authorized and empowered, to administer oaths. So, yun ang pwedeng gawin. Let him reduce yung kanyang presentation into affidavit form and swear before a consulate official. At pwede niyang isubmit pagkatapos. And then we will take it from there, either sa Senate Committee on Public Accountability, yung Blue Ribbon Committee, and of course, ang Ombudsman at ang Department of Justice.
Okay, if he does not do that, is there any value in Zaldico's expose?
Well, meron naman. It can be, kasi fact-finding naman, di ba? Ang trabaho ng ICI. So, pwedeng maging basehan ng dagdag na fact-finding, at least GIA or guidance, may mga nabanggit siya. In fact, may mga nagpa-fact-finding na social media, nakita yung conduction sticker ng mga sasakyan, meron namang nagsabi bakit ganun ang mga petsa, etc. So, nag-umpisa na yung fact-finding. So, I guess the ICI, the Blue Ribbon Committee can, how do you call it, be guided by these revelations and then take it from there and do its own fact-finding.
Okay. Now, in the three-part video, what surprised many netizens is the fact that Zaldico claims he is innocent. Kumbaga, wala daw siyang insertions, right? So that made it, frankly speaking, unbelievable. And it lessened the credibility of his allegation. However, he is specific in the last video that he says, diba, may nagsabi 21 billion supposedly ang nawala sa insertions. Ang sabi niya is hindi, 50-something billion ang insertions, tapos ang pera na ibinigay niya ang napunta kay Pangulong Marcos Jr. at kay Speaker Martin Romualdez. What do you make of that and him submitting the alleged projects? Kasi ang dami nagsabi, kung bakit papatawag pa kay Secretary Pangandaman, pwede naman i-insert sa NEP, right? But what he did was he submitted the projects. And he said, Senator Ping Lacson, bago ka magkomento, tignan mo muna to.
Well, dapat tingnan yun. Pero ang ultimate na magpapatunay niyan, siya pa rin sa isang affidavit, sworn statement. At humarap sa mga investigative bodies dahil doon natin pwedeng matest, 'di ba, yung magiging mga sagot niya, may inconsistencies ba?
Oo.
'Di ba? Paano namin ma-verify at ma-validate kung hindi siya haharap at hindi namin matatanong sa kanya? Tulad ng pagtatanong namin kay Yusek Bernardo, kay Engineer Alcantara, no? So yun din, no? That is how I will approach this, no? We'd like to be able to ask questions, probing questions regarding his allegations, but we can't at the moment.
What would happen if Zaldico decides to stay in hiding for 2 more years and wait until the next elections? Because you remember the former Iloilo City Mayor? You remember
yes.
Matibag, right?
Bilog, Jed Mabilog.
Mabilog. He was actually in the US. Well, I mean, but the US granted him asylum. That's different. But in effect, he was actually out of the country for roughly 6 years. The whole time Duterte was in power. And then, well, roughly 7 years, because then President Marcos Jr. allowed him to come back. So it is possible for a public official to stay out of the country. 2 taon na lang to, eleksyon na.
Posible yan. Kaya pag naisampa yung mga kaso, doon ang sinabi ng Department of Justice, pwede nang kanselahin ang passport. Among others. No? So, we will see. But hopefully, hindi mapunta sa ganun. No? Na sana mag-volunteer na siyang humarap at sabihin ang lahat. No?
But it doesn't, like, honestly speaking, I mean, one of the qualifications to cancel a passport is, am I right, national security? And in that thread, parang 3 po yun, sir, or 4. So, I mean, now he is accusing the president of, I mean, plunder beyond levels that exceed the number ascribed in the law. Hindi ba dapat, sa totoo lang, President Marcos Jr. should also already, at this point, cancel his passport? By that testimony alone, isn't he already endangering national stability, national security?
Well, that's a matter that the Department of Justice should review. And my understanding is, sa last hearing, ang position nila is hindi nila mape-prevent yung karapatan ng sa ating saligang batas ng the right to travel, no, until there are pending cases filed.
Okay. What do you make of the flood control hearings in the Senate? I mean, the recent one, Bernardo's testimony, he actually named, right? He named a lot of public officials, but allegedly he was dealing with the staff, right, of most of them. You have some public officials saying, why is the Senate taking that testimony hook, line, and sinker? Bakit ganon? Parang hearsay lalabas din ang marami, gayong staff o alleged na tao ang kausap niya, hindi ang mismong public official.
That's right. Well, you know, we're not taking it hook, line, and sinker. We're taking it for what it is. But, syempre, pag abogado ka, kailangan ng corroborative evidence. Kumbaga, that alone will not stand. But, di ba, may mga pangalan na na-identify. So, dapat patawag yun. No? And whether they will deny or admit, of course, we don't know. But at least may mga other names that have been identified, have been pinpointed, and we can, if it's not for the Senate, because tayo naman in aid of legislation, it's already guidance for the Department of Justice, the ICI, as well as the Ombudsman, no, na oo, hindi pinangalan ng direkta, walang face-to-face na pag-uusap kumpara sa iba, di ba? So ang layunin ng mga nag-iimbestiga at maghahanap ng probable cause, ika nga, maghanap pa ng dagdag na corroborative evidence.
Okay.
By testimonial and documentary evidence that may be unearthed.
Okay, you did say that unprecedented corruption needs unprecedented accountability. Tama. But ang nangyari kasi dito, well, Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales said, no one can eradicate corruption. In all governments, there is always some form of corruption. The question is always how much, how big, what is the scale, right? Yes. So in ASEAN countries, there's an acceptance of 5 to 10% leakage. In our country, it's gone to 30% and even more. Nag-iimbestiga tayo, but it seems it's a whole government, sindikato, ang buong gobyerno, ahensya, pati ang legislature. But what can the president do, frankly, in terms of changing the systems? Yes, we can file cases, hold people into account, ipakulong. Pero pwedeng buong gobyerno makulong na. But what can change just in terms of systems?
alam mo, ultimately, and I said this because this week I'll be defending the judiciary budget. Unless we punish more and punish swiftly, yung respeto sa ating mga batas ay magiging voluntary.
Oo.
Ibig sabihin, I was told by Sandigan Bayan Justice that they have about 5,000 unserved warrants of arrest.
Unserved warrants?
Yes. 5,000 yan. Ibig sabihin yan, dapat naka-aresto na at nakakulong na o kaya makapagpiyansa ng bail. Pero hindi. That's one. So,
bakit daw, sir? Bakit hindi nila ma-serve?
Well, ang kanilang police, law enforcement, PNP, NBI, etc. And that's why we passed the Judicial Martial Act in 2 Congresses ago para mabigyan din ng suporta ang ating hudikatura. But having said that, ang kanilang conviction rate 47%. Ibig sabihin sa bawat 2 kasong sinasampa, yung isa absuelto. So that hindi mo pinalalakas ang hudikatura at sila mismo, sino ba ang saan ba napunta lahat ng plunder cases? Hindi ba sa Sandigan Bayan? Umabot pa sa Supreme Court? Pero ang nangyari sa mga desisyon sa Korte Suprema at sa Supreme Court, kung hindi absuelto, ay nakapagpiyansa, nakapag-bail. Hindi naman yan Office of the President per se, judiciary yan. So sa akin, sabi ko nga, the judiciary will have to embrace that they have, di ba, unwittingly and di ba, by default, they have helped create the impunity that's happening in the country.
Yeah.
And therefore should take stock. And in fairness to a number of justices that I have spoken to, because I sit in the JBC and I sit in the SET, they too are concerned. Diba? Mga tao din yan, ang mga huwes. At pag nakita nila at alam nila, galit na galit ang tao dahil ang sinasabi ng taong bayan, wala namang nakukulong.
Oo.
Wala namang nasistensahan at napaparusahan. Ang napaparusahan lang yung maliliit.
Pero ang tanong ko nga ay yun, definitely dapat may makulong. Pero isipin po ninyo, kahit papaano, nakulong si dating Pangulong Joseph Estrada. Nakulong din, na-detain si dating Pangulong Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Nakulong si Juan Ponce Enrile. Nakulong si Bong Revilla. Nakulong si Jinggoy Estrada. Pero wala pa rin nagbago. May mga nakulong.
Well, bottom line, pag ikaw nakulong na, you are now under the jurisdiction of our justice system.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say, why didn't the system change? Why didn't, kumbaga, sinasabi natin, matatakot ang mga magnanakaw kung may makukulong. Pero marami nang nakulong. I mean, the way Joseph Estrada was shamed nung nakulong siya. And yet, here we are again. So what is wrong with us? Hindi naman natatakot, sir.
Again, that's why ultimately, nung ako hinihearing ko yung budget ng judiciary, sabi ko, while I'm hearing this budget of the judiciary, sabi ko, hinihearing yung flood control ng Blue Ribbon. Pero sinabi ko to sa mga huwes. But ultimately, when all of that dies down, dito sa hudikatura, dadalhin lahat yun. Anong gagawin ninyo? Mag-aabsuelto na naman ba kayo? Papabayaan na naman at patatagalin? You know, there are cases, corruption cases in the Sandigan Bayan na 40 years na hindi pa na-dismiss, hindi pa nare-resolba o hindi pa na-convict. Yung 40 years. Having said that, we are filing a judiciary congressional commission. Congressional commission on the state of the Philippine justice system. Parang EDCOM 2. You know, the education crisis precipitated or ushered in yung EDCOM 2 so that the Congress will review and find out where are the gaps. We are already going to file a Judiciary and Justice System Congressional Commission to identify the gaps. Right now, I believe we don't have enough courts to be able to fast-track itong paglilitis. Nababagalan tayo. Ang average case life ata ngayon is about 4 years. That's too long.
Oo. Yeah.
And that's in the first level, huh?
Yeah.
So we have to take stock of this. And that's one step that the legislative branch can do. As chairman of the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights, we will sponsor that measure so that we have a congressional commission on the state of Philippine, the justice system in the Philippines. We are not punishing enough, and we are not punishing swiftly. And that is one major reason why impunity continues to plague us.
Okay, balikan natin si Zaldico.
For example lang, just to,
okay.
You know, the Independent Commission Against Corruption, a Hong Kong group. It was created in the late 60s, early 70s. Before that, grabe ang image at reputasyon ng Hong Kong police noon, puro corrupt. But today, Japan, for example, has a conviction rate of 90% sa criminal cases. If I'm not mistaken, and I recall correctly, Hong Kong is about 80+% conviction rate. Tayo, 47%. So these are what we have to do.
Yeah.
You know, to punish more and to punish swiftly. Para matakot ang tao. Ngayon kasi, di ba, wala naman nakukulong eh. And nakakalungkot. Pero dapat talaga yan ang pupuntiryahin din natin dito.
Okay. Balikan po natin si Zaldico. Si Zaldico ay naka-blue notice ngayon. Okay? So, halimbawa, nasampahan na siya ng kaso. Kahit anong kaso masampa, is that enough to cancel his passport?
I believe, well, I have to review that, no? Pero yung Interpol, di ba, yung warrant, yung ating membership sa Interpol will now kick in dahil merong pending case, and then we will have to cooperate with other government, nationals, you know, other states, other governments of other countries to be able to address this. But yes, ang sinabi ng Department of Justice, they can now, how do you call it, limit or address itong pag-aaresto at sa pagpa-file ng mga kaso.
But can he still be brought back to the Philippines if he is in a country where we have no extradition treaty with?
That's a good question. Then we don't go through the extradition process. We probably will just have to go through the Interpol. Of course, he will avail of all remedies to protect himself if he feels, di ba, that hindi siya dapat bumalik. But that will be a cause for concern. Although, at least na sampa na ang kaso, ika nga government has to continue to pursue, di ba, accountability.
Okay. Now, ipinakita ni Zaldico yung mga maleta na allegedly at may petsa ang mga maleta, merong magkano lahat yon. Pinapahanap na nga ng mga netizens, diba, yung conduction sticker, kung saan yun, etc. And other details of the garage. Supposedly, this is a condo, I think, or a garage in a condo, wherever this is. Naniniwala ba kayo na pera ang laman, or etong mga maletang to ay for delivery talaga na pera?
Like I said, di ba, kailangan ng humarap siya para matanong natin. Kasi kung picture lang, di ba, madaling gumawa ng mga picture. Baka nga, ang tanong dyan, yan ba, yun ba talaga ang pera na sinasabi niyang nasa loob? So again, we really need to have him surface, face the process, so that our system of justice can ask the probing questions necessary to validate, di ba, and to test the credibility.
All right. On that note, I want to thank you for joining me today, Senator Francis Pangilinan. Thank you, sir.
Maraming salamat. At siyempre, ang ating huling bitiw na salita, tuloy-tuloy lang ang ating pagiging mapagbantay in the end, kung mayroong magiging resulta ito, ako'y naniniwala, it all depends on our people's commitment to push for good governance. And we hope the IPC will be certified by the President as urgent. This is the bill, the Independent People's Commission measure. Na-file na rin sa House. So there are twin bills. If the President certifies it as urgent, we can pass it before the end of the year, hopefully.
All right. Thank you so much, Senator.